Fahim, welcome to Podcastina.
Thank you for having me. Monty, thank you for having me as well. Such a pro.
I get so excited when people are excited about him.
Yeah, it's the best. You're like, are you okay with dogs? And I'm like, yeah, I was a little on the fence. And then this guy's looking at me. I'm like, oh, I'm okay with dogs. More of this.
People will try to get me to let them dog sit him. There's like a wait list.
How long is it? It's like a restaurant. You have to.
Yeah.
We'll text you when Monty's ready.
It's easier to get on Raya than it is to dog sit Monty.
Oh, dang.
Do you have something you're looking forward to right now?
Let's see. What am I looking forward to? I guess just like writing another hour, I suppose. I'm kind of like on the back end of that cycle. So just like, I don't have any shows to do. I just get to be in town and then like blank piece of paper. I like that, starting over. So that's not like a definitive date coming up or whatever, but I like this vibe and I don't know, period I'm in right now.
Say more about liking it, because I feel like that's a big trope where people are worried about putting a special out. And I know you put one out recently of, oh my God, now it's a blank slate. I have to start over. But you have a good attitude about it.
I guess because then you're not married to anything, and like any harebrained idea you have can turn into something. There's this like freedom to it. You're not bound. Like when you have shows and stuff, say I have a gig in like Washington, D.C., people pay money for a ticket. So you feel like, okay, I have to deliver a certain type of show. These are my banger jokes, and if I want to slide a new thing in, I can only do a little bit. There's like things you have to do, but when you're at this phase, there's zero expectation. You know, I'm just doing little spots around town for 15 minutes. I'm doing somebody's show in the belly room or wherever, so you can literally just, I don't know. There's no wrong answer. There's no expectations. It's not like people got babysitter to go see you do a guest set, and so it's kind of liberating. It's creatively liberating.
I love that. That's such a good way of looking at it, because I feel like I have not put anything out besides like 15-minute things, and even that I'm like, oh, I burn it and start over.
Well, that's the thing too. Is like, no one sees anything. People see things, and no one sees things. Because I think we're in an era too where people put a clip out, like an Instagram reel, and be like, well, that's the end of that. It's canon. You know, I've committed it to IG reel. It's like it's doing a Tonight Show set or a 1 hour HBO special, but no one sees it. You could still do it in your act if you want. You could even repost that clip 6 months from now. There's so much content, no one sees anything, or even if they do, they don't remember it.
Yeah.
And even when you do post it, 0.05% of your Instagram following sees it, because it's not open like it used to be back in the day. No one sees your stuff anymore. Like, they want you to pay.
That's true. And I guess you can look at it either negatively or positively, and you're taking the positive side of it, where it's like, oh, okay, well, good outcome that I can potentially keep using this, reuse it if I want. I do that all the time. If I feel like a clip didn't get any kind of merit, I'll repost it. I don't give a shit.
It's like, it's a great outfit where you didn't see people. You like, okay, I'm going to wear it again the next day. Like, I didn't hit enough people. Yeah, same with clips. I think you just we're in a day and age where you just play the algorithm that's in front of you. So it might suck. So you go, all right, then I got to do this now. And then for a while it was like, there's little tricks because you figure out the algorithm, then it changes 3 weeks later or a month later. So you just it's an arms race. IG does this, then people start doing this. Then IG does that, you start doing that. And then there's shorts, and then there's Facebook Reels. There's so many. So if they're not, it's almost like a hot chick. Okay, this hot chick's not playing with me right now. Then I got to go to TikTok, and then I got to go to
YouTube.
You make one clip, and that's a lottery ticket for every platform. Or at least the game that we're in. You have a stand-up clip, it's caption and all that. And then in the morning, you put it on TikTok, you put it on Facebook, you put it on Shorts, you put it on every short media. You put it on LinkedIn. No,
Are you putting stuff on LinkedIn?
I'm like, no one's there yet.
Should we
be? Getting a huge following just by posting my stuff on LinkedIn. Everyone has a business suit at my shows. It looks like everyone has lanyards, and they're like, oh. Every one of my shows feels like a corporate gig because I'm only promoting on LinkedIn.
Oh my God. I've actually thought about LinkedIn lately because I've fallen down the rabbit hole of, I get all these, I guess, influencers on my feed who are teaching me to be better at social media, and a lot of them are like, LinkedIn's this underrated area and you should be posting there.
But I don't, maybe for other professions, I just don't understand how LinkedIn would work as a stand-up comedian
Agreed.
unless you are teaching like stand-up techniques injected into boardroom presentations. You know what I mean?
Wait, that's actually kind of brilliant.
All that exists. There's so
Yeah.
many. There's like they want to inject the arts into forms of business. Everyone wants an edge in business, so there are seminars where like they have acting people teaching business people how to be human when giving a presentation. You know, like
It's hard for
smile
them.
more, and then your hands are doing a weird thing. So they'll have like Juilliard actors and stuff help these like business stiffs seem human. I'm sure Zuckerberg
Yeah.
has gone through the gauntlet of all that. You know,
None of
He
it's
had a-
helped him.
I guarantee you he's had a complete makeover because there's Zuckerberg 2.0, right? Or 1.0. And now he's got the curls, he's got the chain. So he's got like a Queer Eye makeover.
Yeah.
That's just a visual front. And then I'm sure he's had like some behavioral intensive in the Bahamas or whatever. And like a crack team of people, like one guy to work on his arms, one guy to work on his blinking, one guy to work on his gait. You know, think about how much money he has.
Yeah.
And how much public appearances that he does. Why wouldn't he throw this much money? Also, you don't organically look like that over time. That's it's so premeditated and a concerted effort to humanize our CEO, you know? I mean, this is a tangent, and I'm not saying they're the same thing, but it's just the importance of branding. I was watching this Hitler documentary.
This is related. What are you talking about?
My legal team would like to preface this, but these are not related in any way, shape, or form. These are two different people. I'm not equating the atrocities or, from one man to another or anything like that. But, when you're a kid and you're learning about Hitler and just he has this haircut, he has this mustache, he's doing this, you just think that it was like dropped from the sky and that's what it was. But in this documentary, you learn that it's like focus grouped, and his haircut and the way he speaks and his mustache, even that was manicured because that got people into this frenzy, or that pulled well or whatever. So even like Hitler's look and vibe was curated and manicured.
Yeah,
it
and
wasn't
he had a
some
niche.
organic thing.
Yeah.
Like he was in a barber shop chair, like a Jonathan Van Ness was like, there's like a montage in a rom-com, like,
Yeah.
no. And then they turn around and Hitler has the hair and they go, we've got it. So even he had to, which is crazy. You'd think that even fascism has that.
Oh my gosh, I never thought about him in regards to branding, but you're so right. Even before we knew it, he was like, my niche, hating Jews.
It feels gross,
Yeah.
but even Hitler had branding.
Totally.
And it was such a big part of, his rise.
Yeah.
So if he had to do that, then everyone else is doing it too.
Imagine if he had social media, if he was around today.
I mean, I had this joke a long time ago that I didn't do that much. Some of that's one of these dark jokes that like are too 50-50 to do regularly. But I was like when you think about it, Hitler was the first influencer.
Yeah.
And
So
I
real.
go, this is pre-TikTok. That's crazy. To whip that many people into a frenzy and stuff and influence that many people like before social media. Yeah. So I mean, imagine if he had the internet, that'd be scary. I go, we'd all be speaking German if he had TikTok back then.
Oh man, honestly. Even me as a Jewish person would be like, I don't know, the vibes are immaculate.
Yeah, just all the videos are like when you.
That makes me think, if I were to hire someone for branding help, like what kind of person would I hire?
Yeah, how would you find them? Craigslist, or would you just?
I guess I would fall for one of those coaching things on TikTok because, I mean, they target me all the time. And
they'll
it's,
DM. Every week I'll get a message. They're relentless too. It's spam, and they still make me feel guilty. They'll go, hey, reaching out again. Like, this is spam. And they're making me feel bad like they're my friend that I haven't messaged for a while. Hey, circling back on this, they're a stranger.
Yeah.
Yeah, they go, we can get you from 60 to 30, blah, blah, blah. You can just tell it's like a click farm or whatever it is. I don't want to pay for that. I want organic growth.
Don't we all?
Right, Mont?
If you had to stack rank your enjoyment of the different social media apps, where would you put them?
Let's see. This IG is at the top just because I'm in the age bracket where like it's entertainment, it's connectivity, it's DMs, it's everything. Actually, I'm not on TikTok that much. I'll do it just because we have to in our business. You just put it on all of them. But people talk about being on TikTok forever. It never spoke to me. I'm never there just watching, scrolling for days. I kind of post
You're
and
lucky.
leave. Oh,
Yeah.
really? You
Yeah.
love it?
I'm trapped.
So how's it different than Instagram? Is it just a different, it knows your likes better?
It knows me really well to the point. I think the best explanation I've come up with is that Instagram's algorithm knows the parts of me that are public that I post about. And, it'll show me Pomeranians. It'll show me surfing videos. Front-facing interests. Whereas TikTok has managed to find my shadow self. And it's crazy. The things that it pulls up, I go, oh, somebody put a chip in my brain when I wasn't paying attention.
Okay. So
and it was ByteDance.
So ByteDance is TikTok, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what is a shadow like that we wouldn't know?
I will get a lot of, I call it horny goth girl content, where it's like bands that I'll listen to and it'll be their vocalists, but it's kind of over like Genuine's Pony and it's just a collage of like hot videos of like the singer of Sleep Token or something. And I'm like, this is embarrassing, but I obviously love it.
Yeah. So it just knows that your thumb hovers a little longer than usual on these. Like it'll swipe after 3 seconds instead of 2.5.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, people say, oh, if I die, hide my porn stash or whatever. I'll be like, delete my TikTok first.
That'd be a good idea. Just all your TikTok just self-implodes upon death.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's tied to your Apple Watch so it knows when you're dead. And then just erases everything. Yeah, so I just kind of post in the ghost with TikTok. But sometimes a clip will do really well on there. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. But IG. So you don't really mess with IG? Or it's just like a necessary evil?
I just don't. I think with IG, it's more of an addiction for looking at notifications. I open it repeatedly. I check notifications. I probably watch like the first couple of stories that show up on my thing. And then I bounce out of there. But like, I don't sit there scrolling on IG versus TikTok. I sit there scrolling a lot. There's this woman that comes up. If you've been scrolling on it for too long, especially at night, you'll eventually get a video of a woman going, have you been scrolling too long? Yeah. And then it's so offensive that then I throw the phone.
Is it an ad? Have you been scrolling too long? Or is it just like...
It's just a shame. It's a shaming mechanism, which I'm like, don't you want me scrolling longer? And then it goes, we know you've been here for like an hour and it's midnight where you are, so you should probably get off of here.
It knows you.
It shames me and I still come back.
It's the power.
It's an abusive relationship. But back to you starting fresh with material. Do you have a creative process? Do you kind of have a go-to where you set yourself up to write?
I just gonna have these safe spaces to like do the new material, and then I'm just always logging material. And people think that I write a lot, and then maybe I do, but it doesn't feel like writing. I just sort of like live life, and then when things strike me, I'll jot them down. You just kind of want to get in the habit where you don't even know you're doing it, so it doesn't feel like work. So maybe people who have trouble writing just sort of don't think of it as a thing that you got to go sit. Everyone's different though too. Some people do need to like sit down and write and crank it out. I've heard Seinfeld's like that. He'll set an hour a day, sit down at a desk and like write. I found for me, I kind of just live life. Things will strike me, and then I'll jot it down, and I'll just do it with such a fast pace. I don't even know. I'm not precious about it. I'll just jot down enough words to capture the idea. And then you do that enough times throughout the day, throughout the week. When you look back at it, you have all these words. And then it's just a matter of slotting them into a set, or what show do you want to try what on? Like, what are the stakes of each show? And then for me, at least, if it's like a packed Friday or Saturday at the Comedy Store, I can't do it. In my mind, I don't like doing a ton of new stuff because it feels like a show. Mm-hmm. People paid decent cover money. They got a babysitter. It feels like an event. So I might be able to slide like one new joke in or something. And it depends what room I'm in as well. Yeah. If I'm in the original room, which is like a more intimate room, I can get away with sliding one or two new jokes in there. But the main room is such a large showroom. It feels like Vegas. I feel like that room, you have to be super on it or famous. Because if Sarah Silverman comes out, has a notebook, and is reading, people are just so happy to be in the same room with Sarah Silverman.
That's true.
She can get away with anything. So, but if no one knows who you are, even if you're like up there as a comedian, no one knows. The average person doesn't know who you are. Like, you got to be a real comedy nerd. So most people don't know who you are up there. So you just got to be super on it. At least I feel like in the main room. And but if I'm doing some belly room show that's kind of a new material night, then I can do a lot of new stuff. If I'm doing my show, which is like once a month, called Fahim Works on Stuff, and his friends drop by. If you're in the LA area, check it out. I do that once a month, and then I MC, so I bring up acts, but in between, I try all these harebrained ideas that I have in my phone. So just kind of like knowing what to do where, and then over time, these bits become kind of good, and then you have enough of them, and then you tell your people, like, all right, let's go on the road, let's set up some cities. And then it becomes even more refined from city to city. I think the first city I did on this past tour was Denver. So I did Denver Comedy Works, and that's your first kind of stab at like, all right, this is the hour. And then it changes bit by bit. You're like, okay, these bits are maybe too LA, take that out. Then this is like too dark, or there's too many jokes about this topic. So then each city you hit, there's these minor tweaks. And by the end of it, it's like amazing. And the goal is you want to have this hour that works in every city. That's the whole point of, or at least in my mind, you want to have an hour that works in Minneapolis, an hour that works in New York, that works in Austin, Dallas, Houston, Portland. You want a bulletproof act, and it gets that way just from these tiny tweaks from city to city. But you know how there's like work involved with that. I'm kind of, there's no wrong answer with where I'm at. I just get to like diarrhea all these ideas, and there's no one's like, I want my money back, because I'm just part of a lineup. Yeah.
Well, I agree with everything you said. That's like such a consummate professional way of handling it, because I've been to shows where someone is like, let's say, headlining at the Improv, and it's their night, and they're up there with a notebook, and I'll get mad at them for bombing the whole time, because I think of those things too. I think someone just paid for a babysitter, they paid for these tickets, they're paying for a 2-item minimum, and you're treating it like an open mic. And there's definitely a number of comedians that do that, and it feels really lazy to me.
Are they doing their hour, or are they doing are they just going last on an improv lineup? What do you mean?
I've seen both. I've just seen on a lineup, it's kind of, as you were saying, where it's not as important. They're not going to get mad at one person not trying that hard and be like, give me my money back.
Spots around town in LA, and you're like, that's fine in my mind. Yeah.
Where they're just like workout rooms, and it's obvious to everybody involved. But I've seen people like headline, like doing an hour, and it's like maybe 15 minutes of it is polished.
Yeah, well, that's the tough thing. Yeah, people they approach it different ways. Some comics, when they hit the road, they might have 15 minutes, and then the rest is crowd work until they can get it to a spot whereas for me, I like having at least 40, like 35 or 40 that's somewhat polished.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to dumpster dive for like 30 minutes. Like, what do you do? Yeah, well, what kind of job is that? You guys have sex with each other? That's cool. What's cool to do around here? But people like that. People seem to like it.
They love it. I mean, that's what'll blow you up online too.
Yeah, I guess so. But then there's also, I don't know. Some people it's a skill though. Some people are really, really talented at it. And I think it's just very popular right now. So everyone's taking a stab at doing it. But not everybody is as skilled at it. So I think it's a gold rush, but then we're also seeing a lot of bad crowd work too. And then we're seeing a lot of editors need to be paid more.
Yeah.
We're seeing a lot of people with like, there's not much. Like, if you boiled it down and what's happening in the clip, not much is going on, but it's like woo, woo, jingling. You know what I mean? Just,
yeah, B-roll.
Yeah. But then if you like transcribe what actually was said, it's like, this is not much. But with I go like, pay that editor.
Well, it's the hooking.
Yeah, that's the whole terminology. If you don't have them in 0.003 seconds,
they're gone.
They're gone.
They hate you. They block you.
That's why every clip I just go, I stare into the lens, and then I have the joke go. Or I hire someone to like flash her tits, and then I'm like, get out of here, and then I do the joke. I used to have this joke one time where I'm like, I'm gonna get breast implants. I'm just gonna get because for TikTok, because I want my clips to do well. So that'll be my hook. So I'll wear like a low cut blouse or whatever, and my tits are kind of out. So people stop scrolling because it's their lizard brain, right? They're scrolling, oh, tits, and then I'm just me doing my jokes. So I grab my tits, right, and then they stick around for the jokes, and I'm like, oh, these are pretty good. These jokes are actually pretty good. So I hook them with the fake tits that I get, and then I keep them with my comedy. And then they tell their bros, they're like, yo, have you seen that comic like with the fake tits? It was actually kind of funny. Like, his tits are great. But once you stop scrolling and actually listen to the material, it's pretty bomb. I thought it was weird at first, too, that he had tits. And no, he's not trans or anything. He just, I guess it's just to stop
tits.
the thumb from swiping.
Yeah. And they don't know it's a hook strategy.
It's a hook. I go, I'm not trans or anything. These are hook tits.
And they have to accept you for that.
They have to. They could. That's a byproduct. If they want to, if they're worried about getting canceled, I'll use that to my advantage.
Yeah.
But it's not a sexual thing. It's not a gender. It's not an identity thing. I'm purely getting tits for IG and TikTok. It's my hook. I'm tired of thinking about hooks. I want biological hooks.
That's the next step.
Right? Do you know how exhausting it is thinking of like, okay, what's my caption going to be? What's my hook going to be? How do I got to edit this? Giant tits?
Yep.
Alleviates all that. That's God's hook.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
God's hook. God needed a hook.
Giant tits are God's hook.
That's so funny.
And it's less than 3 seconds. It's a millisecond.
Yeah.
It's the quickest hook you could have.
Everybody likes them.
Everybody
women.
likes them, yeah. It's fun for the whole family. It's all ages. Tits. It's an advertisement. What's the board game? Who does Monopoly?
Oh, I don't remember.
I need a board game for the commercial.
Milton
Bradley?
Milton Bradley.
Milton Bradley introducing tits. Fun for the whole family. Medium ones, big ones, definitely not small ones.
I just saw, truly yesterday, I think I saw this on TikTok, but apparently there's a trend in plastic surgery now called ballerina boobs, where people are going and getting implants that are like only B's.
Whoa. I feel like it's very niche.
Yeah.
But also, tits are like beverages. They go in fashion. They go, remember it was Lipton iced tea for a bit. Then it was like Red Bull. Humans need a new drink every 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
And I think that you get old enough as a guy, and you're around to see trends change. When I was coming up, when I was a young man, huge tits were it. Well, huge tits will always.
I feel like huge tits are
it's the gold
timeless.
standard. Yeah, I think we're fighting our biology when we like do all these other things. But it was huge tits for a long time, and then asses became a thing. Whoa, Monty.
He's like, I heard you bring up ass.
Somebody said ass. Now we're talking. So yeah, then it was asses for a bit, and now, I guess that just shows you how progressive a society's gotten when you can get super niche with what's sexually in. Because now we're small tits. It'll be like back of the elbow. It'll be clavicles. So that's how. I guess that's the real marker of a society.
Yeah, the explanation was that it's because of the rise in Ozempic use and GLP-1s that it doesn't make sense to have huge boobs in a small frame. So that's why these whole ballerina boobs are a thing now.
Yes, but huge tits are aspirational.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, right?
They are.
Small boobs.
I'm waiting till I'm 70.
To get
I'm
huge
just gonna
boobs?
get knockers, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you'll pay attention to me now. Over the hill, my ass.
That'd be kind of weird, just like that big and perky, that old.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, it'll kind of be like your tits in your videos. The hook will be she's 70, but her boobs are 2 months old.
Yeah. Yours would be less unsettling, though. Like mine, people have to grapple with a lot of things. Like, am I gay? You know what I mean? Like, these are perfect tits. I like the tits, but then when I look up, it's not what I'm used to. I'm conflicted. Am I gay? I think a lot of like homophobia comes from this feeling.
Yeah.
They don't understand it, so they'd rather just beat the guy up or be homophobic because they're like, am I gay? And they don't want to explore in here, so then let's just go out.
Project.
Let me just project the thing. I don't want to do some work.
That's so real. I've started using this as a comeback because, as any female comedian knows, we're like the most hated group online.
Oh,
Like,
really?
it's pretty just.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't disbelieve it because I'll get just any comedian in general.
Yeah.
It's truly astounding how all we're trying to do is just make people happy for free, and that can make people so angry.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's really
this
amazing.
clip is free.
Yeah.
And there's so much venom coming out of this guy or woman, and everyone's so contrarian. And you're like, wow, this is what they're walking around with all the time. So I can imagine, like, so what's it like? What are you saying?
Well, I get a lot of the kind of umbrella things of women aren't funny, and it just immediately turns into some misogyny. But then the fun thing that I've now, and this wasn't my idea, I'm sure I saw it on TikTok, but I respond now with, well, if you hate women so much, I hope you find the man of your dreams. And that usually shuts them up.
Ooh, that's great.
Yeah.
Because now you're assuming he's gay, or now he is. And does he reply back like, unfortunately for you, I'm not gay?
I haven't had anyone respond back.
Mm,
It's been kind of the argument ender so far.
the mic drop.
Yeah. I also need to stop responding to stuff.
There
That's
is that
mistake
too.
number one.
I know. I don't. I just I don't want them to even know that. Because then also it's a never-ending energy vacuum.
And you're so right about that. And I need to lay down my excuse right now for responding is that each comment, including my comment, drives up the algorithm. So I'm like, well, if I keep commenting back, it gets more views. But I know that that's incorrect for my mental well-being.
Yeah, but also eventually you get to the point where you'll have people fighting on your behalf.
Yeah, I'm not there yet.
Eventually. So, I mean, here's the thing, though. Like, you want to aim for that because I don't think you're going to start engagement with, hey, I know it feels good. Another thing to think about, too, though, is just if you're looking at it purely from a statistics point of view, I forgot who said this. Somebody said, like, those comments and stuff, the hate comments and negativity, that is the tax of being an artist.
Oh,
I
like
that's
that.
the tax you pay of being a public front-facing figure, putting your art out there on a public stage. That's just part of it. And statistically looking at it, take your emotions and ego out of it, there is no one artist that is universally beloved 100%.
Correct.
It can slide a certain way, but even Beyonce or Tom Hanks or anybody is going to get this pocket of negativity and hate. Someone's not going to like them. And with the internet, everyone has a megaphone now. Whereas maybe in the 90s, it was harder to see these trolls. But
they had to write you letters.
They had to
go to the post office.
Yeah, hire a skywriter. You were shielded from it. But now with the internet, you'll have a comment. It comes up on your YouTube like, you fucking suck. And then they announce your name. And, the hate's in your pocket.
Yeah.
If you seek it out. So, but just know that statistically, of course it's going to happen. And you have to realize, like, oh, this is just like Sim City. If you build a roller coaster with no bathrooms, people are going to, like, diarrhea themselves.
I like that.
It's just stats.
Yeah. I like the tax analogy a lot. That's a really
That's
good
the price
framework.
you pay for being what you are, for being a comedian. That's just part of it. And he has no outlet or she has no outlet. That is their open mic. You are fulfilled through this thing. They are not in any other medium. So that is their comedy. Trolling is their comedy.
It's true.
You and I do comedy to feel whole. They do this to feel whole. It's like a weird thing. But like, okay. And at a certain point, you do it long enough and it's just noise. You don't even, it's all over here. It's just part of it.
That's true. And I have heard it expressed as that people would rather get negative attention than none at all. And so that's a lot of why they start chirping, is because they want to start an argument with you, because that way you're giving them the time of day.
Yeah, then they feel seen. And also there's a lot of hours to kill in a day before we all die. So that feels like something to do.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, this will pass a few hours.
It makes me sad to think that people feel that level of loneliness, because I guess just from my POV, I've never been tempted. When I don't like something online, I just scroll past. I've never left a mean comment, I don't think, ever.
Yeah, it's almost like Sebastian has this great joke back in the day where he's talking about a Yelp review. He's like, I think I'm going to tattle on a restaurant. He goes, if I don't like a restaurant, here's my review. I tell my wife, we're never going here again. Like, that's it. To conduct, like a whole, if I don't like a video or whatever, I just close the browser. Although I have done a Yelp review. I will, I have tattle.
For what?
Not when it's like bad food, but when it's exceptionally bad service. Like they're crazy rude or it's like bonkers.
What happened?
I was living in K-Town. There was this guy who was like so unaccommodating. I asked for, I wonder if I could pull him. I vaguely remember it, but like, yeah, if I feel like really wronged by a business, then I'll leave a review.
That's fair.
Yeah. But if I don't like the food, I'm not going to write a thing.
Yeah. No, me neither. Because it's also subjective.
Yeah, it's subjective.
Have you ever read Yelp reviews for comedy clubs? They're exquisite.
Oh, no.
You must.
I guarantee you 90% of them is just like, I was told 12 times to not shout out, but I was having a good time. I was helping the comedian.
Yeah, that's the best. I was helping. I was part
helping.
of it.
They told me to be quiet, but I thought it's a comedy club. You don't have to be quiet. Like it's just a heckler not realizing that heckling is bad. And then he got bounced after 12 warnings.
I've seen reviews. I haven't looked at a ton of clubs, but Comedy Store ones. I mean, there's pages and pages.
Oh, well, it's been around for since like what, the 70s or?
Yeah, even earlier maybe. But well, I guess we only date back to when Yelp has been around.
Yeah.
But people will write on there that they like hated someone's set.
Oh yeah, it's so subjective.
Yeah.
I understand if it was a drink issue or whatever, you got overcharged or on accident but just I didn't like. That's so subjective. Because I'm sure there's times when I do a crowd, not everyone is gonna like what I do, and that's just part of it. I like music. I don't love every artist. But yeah, that's so funny just to not like a stand-up comedian, and then unless they're the main show, and even that happens sometimes.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, but if you're part of a lineup and there's like 10 other comics, it's kind of absurd just to say you don't like one.
It's funny to have that impulse for me. I can't put myself in the shoes of the person. As the Sebastian Maniscalco bit goes, it's like, how are you so upset and worked up that you need to open an app and write a thesis?
Yeah. Or when they get offended on one joke. That's always interesting. When they're having a great time for like 80% of it, and they understand that 80% of it has been jokes, and then they don't understand that they just brain snaps and they think that it's a TED Talk for one joke, and then they're out. That's so weird. Like they love you up until one joke, and then these aren't jokes anymore. This is a statement. How could you say that?
Do people tell you that you're too well-adjusted to be a comedian? Have you heard that before?
Yeah, I've heard.
I can imagine.
I guess, but I think maybe back in the day, that was the romance of a stand-up comedian. I think there were so few of them, and you can get away with being sloppy because the pool wasn't as large.
Right.
It's almost like there's so many more outlets. There are so many more comedians. It's such a more viable career. Obviously, it's not like being a lawyer or anything else, but there's a little bit more of a path now than there was, say, in the 70s or the 80s. So there wasn't a lot of people to like draw from. So you could afford being on heroin.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean? You hear these stories of how people were, whereas you can't do that today because there's 100 people who can do just as good or better who aren't strung out. Unless you've hit a certain threshold as a famous person, you can still get away with some things. But I just feel like the fuse for allowing that type of stuff doesn't exist anymore. So I think you see a lot more well-adjusted comedians now than maybe back in the 70s and 80s and like 90s even.
When they all had a team, so it didn't matter that they couldn't hold up the business.
Things wouldn't get out. There weren't as many. I think it was a rarer skill back then. But now there's TikTok, there's Instagram. There's so many funny people who maybe don't necessarily do stand-up but are funny in a different way. There's so many other. The pool is larger, and there's so many more pipes to get to the people. So maybe that's why. But yeah, I can't help it. It'd be funny if like this late in the game I get really fucked up. It's really delayed.
Like, what happened to Fahim? He really went off one.
Yeah. That's part of my branding. Like, we focus grouped it. And it'd be, your jokes are great, but just it's not clicking. But we ran a model of you strung out, and people liked it. Because they're like, whoa, he's this strung out and he's this funny and sloppy. And it's
He got
inspiring.
boobs and everything went
He
downhill.
got tits and he got on heroin. I'm like, yeah, again, my titties are like falling out all the time too. I have a needle in my arm. Everyone's like, the missing link.
What do you do for your mental health? Are you pretty disciplined?
I don't know if I do anything active. I think I have a pretty good baseline. I'm very fortunate. I know everyone's brain chemistry is different, and everyone has a different upbringing and all that. Mine was so vanilla and cookie cutter in a great way. My parents are still together. I had to get good grades and stuff, that whole thing. So I was good at school. I didn't smoke weed or anything or do drugs, or I was like such a good kid. My brother was a great kid. So I just kind of, you want to be cool like your older sibling. So I just followed his path. He was getting good grades and stuff. So pretty uneventful upbringing in a idyllic way. And then I feel like I'm pretty well adjusted. I don't need a lot to make me happy. My mom loves me so much. Like, she gave me so much. I don't need it. That some people, it becomes a real compass and North Star for them. They never got it at home. So their whole lives, they're searching for it. And even in bad situations, they're trying to, because they never got it in this healthy way at home, they will put themselves in bad circumstances and situations to fill this hole. That's all. I'm bursting at the seams with that by myself, which is like, so I can see things clearly. At least this is just, look, my hypothesis. This is just me self-analyzing here. So I think when I enter relationships and all that, it's from a vantage point of like, I'm good, and does this work out or not? I'm not like bending myself into a pretzel to try to get this thing from them. That, and then I don't need to go skydiving or anything. I have simple pleasures.
Yeah.
I love music. I love chilling in a booth at a diner, just having breakfast and unlimited refills of coffee, listening to Spotify. I love stand-up so much. I love comedy. I love creating. So it's kind of neat when what you love is also your work. But it could be dangerous, I guess, because then you don't know when to unplug and be a person, and you could just be doing so many spots and focusing on comedy so much that you got to focus on you, the human, outside of work. Trying to think. I go to the gym maybe 3 times a week. That's just like healthy.
It's a good amount.
Sometimes I will. And then also I've realized my valleys are kind of shallow, which is good. Because I think everyone goes like this. I think when I'm down, I'm not too down. Like, obviously I have it, but I can get out of it pretty easy. A good song can get me out of it. Sometimes just walking to the gym and it's all sunny, I'm like, I already feel better. Like, it's already been like 5 steps.
Yeah.
And I feel way better. So that.
You have a healthy relationship with dopamine.
Yeah.
Sounds like.
Yeah. Not really a big drug guy. I'll have a scotch every now and then.
Just some heroin just to do some
just
reels.
Some heroin. Look at some, just some. Maybe fake tip me will be different.
Did your parents think it was weird that you went into comedy?
Yeah. I mean that's part of my origin story too, I guess. Like, they didn't love it. It was combative. My dad more so than my mom. My dad still wants me to like go to med school or get my master's in engineering, and just like I've done a lot of things, like I bought my mom a Lexus. I have a house that I've bought from comedy. I've been in some things. I make decent money at this point. It took a long time. Maybe in the last 5 or 7 years, things have been a little more comfortable. So I could understand how we might have been touch and go at the beginning. But even at this nice phase that I'm at right now, it's like, what are you doing? This is like a side mission, like the world's longest side mission. So yeah, I think he just understands. He's so old school, like engineering, medicine, law. I'm trying to think what else, dentistry.
All the things that immigrant parents are okay with.
Yeah, the sure things, the things that other families are like. But the thing is, I've done comedy. I think I've done enough in comedy, I think, where even other Afghan families will be like, they're impressed, and they'll be like, oh, you must be so proud to my dad, and that like it doesn't compute. You know what I mean? Like, proud. Some of this is hyperbole, but some of it is a grain of truth. because it doesn't fall in these traditional buckets. My dad doesn't know how to like process what it is, and so it's hard to frame comedy and writing and everything that I've done is like proud or honorable because this is like clown adjacent to him still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad is that
my
way.
son is a doctor, my son is a dentist, so like my son is a comedian. That's a little more nuanced. It's again, it goes back to branding. It's bad branding. If you're an Afghan dad, my son is a doctor, great branding. my son is a lawyer. My son is a dentist. The economy of words before that proud beam shooting out of your chest. Economical. We're in comedy. As few words as possible to get to your point. My son's a comedian. That requires another page of dialogue before you kind of get to this, maybe? It's too nuanced.
That's true.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. It's not a clean, what is it, dismount? So, yeah, there's that. What was the original question?
It was just that, like, how do your parents respond to it?
Yeah, so it's fine now. I think we're at the point now. I mean, I've always equated it, like me and my dad are, like, we love each other, everything is great and all that. But it's sort of like Professor X and Magneto. They both
haven't seen it.
Oh, X-Men. This is for all the guys watching. That makes total sense to you. She's looking at me like Monty right now. But every guy knows exactly what that is. Professor X and Magneto, they used to be old friends. They have respect for each other, but they have fundamentally different philosophies on how mutant and human relations should be. Professor Xavier wants to work with the humans so that humans and mutants can build a society side by side together equally. And Magneto has no patience for humans anymore. They have just proven time and time again that they do not want to work with the mutants, and they're trying to smite them. So Magneto wants to do that to them. He wants like an all-mutant society. Just mutants are better than humans. So two different philosophies.
Which one are you in this scenario? Which one's your dad?
I think I'm Professor Xavier, I guess.
Throw your dad under the bus.
It's a little more kumbaya, and like you can chase whatever your dreams are. It'll all work out. And then my dad's a little more binary, where it's like medicine or die.
Well, when we all get canceled, you can always go back to
engineering.
Yeah.
I always think about that. People are like, oh yeah, would you ever go back? How do I explain this 15-year gap in employment? You know what I mean?
But I think less people are going into those jobs because everyone wants to just be an influencer.
Yeah, there's that too.
So maybe there might actually be more openings.
Yeah. That is a good safety net.
It could swing back.
Everyone else is dancing, and then I'm in a cubicle. I'm like, I actually have a skill. Or maybe I become an engineering influencer.
I mean, honestly.
And then Boeing planes fly out of the sky. They just fall out of the sky. And they go, he was the lead engineer. And I have a protractor. And the video's called, like, when you're designing the 787. Or no, when you're designing the 747 MAX. Or is it the 737 MAX? Whatever it is. The one that has all the issues. The lead engineer was doing dances when he should have been doing calculations.
I just learned that apparently if you work for air traffic control, that you're not allowed to be on any kind of mental health medications. Isn't that wild?
Well, did you watch The Rehearsal with Nathan Fielder on HBO?
I haven't. I've only seen one episode.
It's really good. It's but there's something kind of in that ballpark too, where if you're a pilot, you don't want to say you're taking mental health stuff. You can't say you feel a certain way because then you're sort of killing yourself with your own sword. That's your livelihood. It's how you fly. So even if you are feeling that, you're not going to be honest because you want to keep your job.
And the mental health professionals are required to report it. Like that's a workaround that they built into HIPAA.
Yeah, so no one's going to be honest. Look, if you got mental stuff and you know you're going to lose your job if it comes out, so you're going to be like, no, I feel fine.
Just go to your air traffic control job depressed as hell.
Yeah. Yeah, or just figure out a way to hide it.
Are you woo-woo at all?
What does that mean? Oh, you mean like crystals and stuff?
Not necessarily crystals, but I guess mindset stuff, like manifesting stuff. Are you into any of that? Spiritual stuff. I guess I say woo-woo, but I should ask spiritual, but woo-woo is more fun.
Woo is more trendy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard of woo. It took me a second, because I'm not in it. I'm not in the woo streets. Bless you. But I do recall hearing that. Bless you. I'm too logical. I'm too practical. I'm trying to think my version of that. My version is more goal setting, which could be like a vision board. I guess the difference is I don't get a glue stick involved. I'm probably doing all the same things, but I'm not going to Joann's or Michael's and getting a glue stick and poster board. I'm just doing it in my head. I'm just sort of have a bullet point. I have things that I want. Maybe I'll make a like Apple Notes kind of like career to do, like what I'm trying to do. So it's more like goal setting. And then after a few months, reassessing, you sort of set your compass towards a certain way, and then things might change a little bit. So I'm doing that every now and then. But I don't do a thing like I don't just like declare things. I don't know why. Maybe it just feels
it's impractical.
Or
I mean, it definitely is, like you were saying. It's just not like goal setting is very of the earth. It's very practical.
It seems practical.
And rational.
It seems attainable. You can't lose. I have enough self-discipline to work at these little things. Maybe I should be. Maybe it's me not believing, and that's my problem, is I need to believe. I need to say, like, I'm going to host SNL. And just put that, and then I have like a collage of like a cutout of me on the SNL stage and different outfits that I put on me.
You're visualizing.
And I'm going to announce, what band am I going to announce? No, I'm going to be the musical artist too, and I'm going to direct the episode. Cut to, like, I'm literally doing everything. It happened. Is that what you have to do? You have to like declaratively announce things for it to happen. I think in my mind it'd be, what I say? If I wanted to host SNL.
I am hosting SNL.
Oh, that's how you got to do it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm there right now. I smell the wood from the stage and all the performers that came before me. Oh, The Rock is in the crowd.
You smelled him?
Yeah, it seems too lofty, I guess, to make these type of things. I think for me, I would just set a goal. Like, I think my goal right now is to have a special on a streamer, I guess. Just kind of attainable goals that maybe are on the road to something on the way to that. So I guess more goal setting rather than here's some crystals and I'm going to do this. Yeah, do you do it?
To an extent. I mean, after you said the glue stick thing, I had a reaction. I did make a vision board.
Everyone has. Like, I've heard Ron Funches does this, so he believes in like manifestation, visualizing, and all that.
I think for me, in doing it, because I try to stay in the practical realm of it. Like, I don't fuck with crystals. I don't fuck with tarot cards, anything like that. The making of the vision board, and it's like I'll just do it for New Year's because New Year's means a lot to me. And same thing, like I typically just will do attainable goal setting where I'm like, oh, I'm going to release this many episodes, or I'm going to make sure that I write like at least 15 new minutes, whatever. I'll
do this. You know what I mean? Yeah, like that sounds good.
And the more, I guess, woo-woo part of it for me of saying, oh, I'm going to get this, is just to create a self-belief. Because I think if I don't have the self-belief, then I'm definitely going to go out with this attitude that's going to reflect that and then not draw it in. But not necessarily because I believe it's some kind of magic coming out of the ether, but more so because I think you do come into things with a certain type of energy. And if I have the energy of self-belief, then I am more likely to reflect that.
I see. And you'll get that by, like, I'm going to do this thing, or this is going to happen.
Telling myself I'm worthy of doing certain things.
Yeah, I like all of that. I think I'm able to get to that place without the, I'm gonna be the lead of a Marvel movie.
Right.
I think it's just so specific. What scares me, I guess, is that if you make a specific goal like that, it's just so crazily specific that if you don't land on that, then it feels like a failure or something.
Totally. And then it sets you back belief-wise.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. Or just seems like, who are you? Who are you to like, for me at least. But I can get to that confidence place through other means. I think what's the way I work, I think I've been able to write jokes. I think I've been talented for a long time. But I think what I needed confidence-wise and all that, I need to reflect on things that I've done to remind myself. Because you live in your own skin and these things come and go and you forget about them. And then sometimes I have to look at my past or my resume or things I've accomplished and be like, oh, like who better to fly this plane or this helicopter, whatever. Because I'll be like, okay, I've done multiple TV shows, I've done multiple specials, done Rogan a few times, done WTF. Like I need totems of like things that I've done to feel that. But some people are amazing. Some people are like a year into comedy or whatever. You know? I need a resume. I need proof that I've done it, and then it's like resonant frequency, and it's this great marriage of like at the top. But some people are they just have that having done nothing, which is inspiring.
It fades because you get hit in the face with reality pretty quick. I think I was that delusional when I started, and now a decade later, I'm like, oh no.
Yeah. But then the resilience is a part of it then too.
Yeah, absolutely. You get told no enough times, you're like, what does
You
another
have a
no
callus.
matter?
Exactly. That's why these comments or anything, I'm like,
bring it on.
Are you new to this?
Yeah.
I'm how many years in? I'm like 23.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's good you can look back at your accomplishments and actually gain perspective from them and be energized by them, as opposed to it leading to this hedonic treadmill where you're like, if I got that again, it wouldn't mean the same thing again. It would mean less, and now you have to have something higher for it to resonate and to feel good.
Yeah, I think I just always wanted to get to a place with financial stability and career kind of security a little bit.
That's huge.
And I'm there. I've been there for a bit, so like, and what kind of gets me off or whatever, what I enjoy about stand-up is I love when a bit works for the first time. I love doing stand-up, actually. And then you get into the game and you realize a lot of people don't actually love stand-up.
It shows.
So many people are doing stand-up to get to this other thing, and they want whatever they wanted yesterday, and they're just, stand-up is a thing to get some other thing, and they don't even really love stand-up. They don't write. It's kind of going through the motions.
It's an interesting thing that people use as a stepping stone into other stuff, because in and of itself, it's a difficult art form that takes a really long time to get good at. So it's funny when you come across those people that are like, I'm just using this to get to an acting job. And I'm like, is there no easier thing that you could use?
But you know what's crazy is using it as a stepping stone to get to an acting job. It's almost like you're using you're your own business. You have more control. Like, you're using stand-up, which you have all the control, all the power. If you get good at it and you really put the time in to like work on the craft, develop your own material, your own POV, you get the job of Galena every day. I get the job of Fahim Anwar every day. You want to use this to have your life and career in the hands of somebody else? Even when you hit as an actor, you have this window that's like that. And then you think about how many... You watch movies from like 1995 to 2000. You'll see like, oh, I remember him. Like, they were doing everything. And then like, now what?
Yeah.
Not in a bad way or anything, but best case scenario, you have this window to be an actor, and then you're reliant on everybody else for your livelihood. At least with stand-up.
Yeah, we can go do it whenever we
want. Yeah, it
want.
might be less visibility, but it's a steady ship.
And on the other end of it, whenever acting careers seem to fizzle, people fall back onto stand-up.
Yes.
Which is also a little insulting.
People end up insulting. Yeah, it is funny how some people's rock bottom is like, how do I get there? Like, we're below their rock bottom. They go, he fucking got that? Like, this person doesn't even want to do it.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, how do I get to rock bottom?
How do I get what Stormy Daniels is booking?
Kind of. But then you realize that's such a cash grab. It's a P.T. Barnum.
Yeah.
That's not going to last forever. She gets to go on tour one go around, and then no one's going to be like, oh, Stormy Daniels' fourth special. That's where she really came into her own. I love her new stuff about the president coming on her. Her new bit about the president.
It's so true. It's so funny, though, when people who aren't comedy fans partake in going to shows and watching specials, and they don't really know what they're looking for, and then they come away confused if they're seeing someone like that.
Oh, Stormy Daniels or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not drawing no real stand-up comedy fan is going to see Stormy Daniels or Screech. All right. All right.
Speaking ill of the dead.
Yeah. But I mean, I imagine Screech probably put in more time than Stormy Daniels.
Probably.
How much time do you think she did? What if she did 3 hours? She's like Chappelle. She's actually really
closing
good.
It down. I guess I shouldn't judge till I see her.
Yeah, power structures and all this stuff. Truth to power. Like, oh, I thought she was going to talk about fucking Donald Trump, but she's actually great. Like my Mount Rushmore of comedians, like Carlin, Stormy Daniels, Chappelle. Got to throw up Eddie Murphy.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah. But you'll see it, even not on the Stormy Daniels front, but there's influencers, TikTokers, and all that. They get hot, then stand-up is a way to monetize your fans on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a way to make money. Touring is such a big arm of people's businesses. So they'll see it as an opportunity, but then it's kind of more of a photo op rather than, let me hear what everyone's just like waiting to get their photo with their person.
Then they realize they have to go to Des Moines, and they're like, I don't want to have to keep going to Des Moines.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like a harder way than just like being in their living room doing a thing.
Yeah. What do you do with boredom or isolation feelings if they hit on the road?
I mean, sometimes in some markets you could take somebody, I'm like, I'm getting to the point where I can bring a comic and it's fun to hang out sometimes like earlier in the day, grab lunch, see somewhere. So that helps mitigate it. I'll wake up late. The shows are kind of late. I'll wake up late. I'll have a late breakfast, putter around, maybe do some writing at the hotel. It's not that bad because you're kind of working, tweaking a little bit. But definitely having an opener helps. Yeah. And then I'm not on the road a crazy amount. Like I'll look at Sam Morril or Mark Normand or their dates are.
Their schedules are crazy.
Yeah, they love it though. They love that. For
you
me,
you would have to.
I'm more sporadic. When I'm touring, I'll pop out 2 weekends a month. So I'll be in a city for Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then I'm back in town for 2 weeks, and then I go out. So it's not terribly grueling, whereas these other guys are living out of a suitcase.
That kind of travel is so, at least for me, dysregulating. So I'd probably ideally do it that way too and not just be on the road all the time.
Yeah. I mean, I was opening for Theo for 4 dates just to see what that was like, doing like kind of arenas. Like, what is that sensation?
Is it a different place every night?
Yeah. So it was like Iowa, Cedar Rapids. Iowa was the first one, and then Fargo, North Dakota, and then St. Paul. And where else did we go? There was one more. Oh, yeah. South Dakota. I think Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And that was like in a tour bus, so that was interesting.
Oh, a tour bus.
Yeah.
With Theo?
Sleeping in a cubby hole. You have to get used to that. You're like, good night, and you're just like a vampire.
Do you get any sleep at all?
Yeah, you do. You get used to it. You wake up and you're in the new city. And then it's weird because you're behind the venue where they play hockey and stuff, and you shower there. It's such a weird way of doing stand-up that I haven't done before, where you arrive in a tour bus, you shower and brush your teeth in the arena, and then you kind of kill time until the shows later on, and then you hop in then you decompress, you eat in the arena. Like there's all these rooms on the outskirts of it, like operational stuff.
Yeah.
And then you have dinner, decompress for a bit, hop back in the tour bus, sleep, wake up, you're in a new city. And you might stop at a city along the way and have lunch. Like we would have lunch sometimes. And people would be like, Yo. Everybody knows him. It's crazy.
Yeah.
He's like Michael Jackson. They're like,
Did people ever find the bus?
did they find the bus?
Yeah.
Not really, and it's not marked.
Mm.
It's not like the Theo tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would have no idea.
A picture of him on the side of the bus.
Yeah, but some people do. Like I
Yeah.
think Bert does that, right? Like it says.
That's such a unique way of doing it. I didn't realize people used tour buses that much in comedy.
I guess
just
it makes
'cause-
sense if you
Yeah.
are doing comedy at that scale and your cities are close enough together. You can align them like that. It makes sense to do a gig, hop on the bus instead of going to a hotel.
Mhm.
But I'm just popping in and out of cities.
Have you done a private jet?
No. No. For stand up or just like ever?
I guess ever.
No.
I know some comedians use them, which I'm
Really?
like, that's
I want to do that
wasteful
just
as
to go
hell.
to Irvine and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a gig in San Diego, Irvine, Riverside.
This is unrelated, but well, I guess related, but with your engineering background, what do you think of helicopters? Have you been in one? Are they safe?
They're much more dangerous than planes.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, because the
They
plane
scare me.
engine goes out, you can still emergency land. Helicopter,
Yeah.
you're kind of screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really. I mean, one time I did go in a helicopter. I was working at Boeing, and then my cubicle mate, he flies helicopters as a hobby, and he had to get his hours up. So during lunch, he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna go in the helicopter. I have to get my hours up. Do you want?" Because we worked at Long Beach, by Long Beach Airport. So I
Mhm.
worked there at that Boeing on Lakewood and Carson. And so he's like, "Do you want to go up in the helicopter?" And I'm like, like when will I ever? This seemed like a cool opportunity to get in
Yeah.
a helicopter. I'm like, "Yeah, cool." So during lunch, we just drove there. He got in the helicopter. He's like, "We'll take the doors off." So we took the doors off, and we were just flying around in this helicopter. And then we went back to work. I sent a video to my mom, and then she lost her mind. She's like, "Promise me I'll never go in a helicopter again." And I haven't. That was the last time. I guess I could.
I'd be your mom in that scenario. They make me anxious.
Yeah. I mean, you'll probably be fine, but in my mind, I'm like, why chance it? It's more dangerous than a regular plane. Even private jets and stuff. I think when you're on a commercial flight, there's so much liability. There's that many passengers, and you're kind of protected at like how many people are involved with a private jet. It seems smaller, less margin for error. So I don't know. But if it's the right situation, they're like, "Hey, Taylor Swift can give you a ride."
Yeah.
Like, cool. I'll do it. I go, "Sorry, Mom."
Is she generally anxious?
My mom?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Did any of that
For
rub off
everything.
on you?
No, not really. I think my dad and my mom, I love them. They're great. But I think their baseline is kind of fear. So they kind of like live anytime something happens, some calamity, like an earthquake or whatever. It'll be an earthquake in Turkey, and my mom will be like, "Are you okay?" You know?
Yeah, my mom too.
Just she'll send me an article about somebody who died on a jet ski.
Mhm.
Just she's a Rolodex of how people have died and trying to tell me not to do that. Always. I think her mind just goes to the worst case scenario for everything.
It's such an immigrant thing just because
I think so.
the way they grew up, it's like survival
Sure
and
thing,
safety.
survival. Yeah.
It's just like front of head. I don't think my mom ever relaxed in Ukraine. I don't think she was like relaxed a day in her life. And that has carried over.
Right. And then when you come to America, it's like, all right, we did it. Let's just be safe. So I
They
think
can't-
I think that's where the comedy thing comes from too. Just
Yeah.
like, look, we came here. Why are you go with the sure thing? Why are you doing door number 3?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't have that. So like,
I think I do door number 3 as like almost paying homage to them doing all the
Mm.
things to come over here. I go, okay, well,
did this
you
so
left
I could
everything so
go
I can
number
have
3 it.
opportunities and do cool stuff. So like I can't fathom the thought of having an average life, even though that feels like a very insulting thing to say to people.
yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with an average life. It's
No,
just,
definitely not. It just doesn't feel aligned with me.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, same, I guess. It's just sort of like, yeah, it may not work out or whatever when I first started and all that, but that's okay. You know? Like it shouldn't prevent you from putting one foot in front of the other. And you could pivot whenever you want.
Yeah, you have to try because you have to.
Try,
you can't
yeah,
just
yeah.
like live
But
with
even being
what
scared
if.
of trying is kind of crazy to me.
I agree. It doesn't matter. Like embarrassing yourself is so unreal.
Yeah, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
There's Gen Z. they're doing way worse things.
They are. They're like, we embrace the cringe.
They embrace the cringe.
What have you learned about relationships from your parents being together all this time?
I mean, there's this so old school, I guess. Just,
Are they lovey-dovey still?
I mean, yes and no. I'm sure every now and then, but it's not like hanging off each other. They're not like.
They're not making out at dinner.
Yeah, no. I guess roles, like traditional roles, I suppose, worked for them pretty well. My dad kind of went to work at Boeing, would make money. My mom loved cooking for the family and dishes and just like traditional roles. And so I'm here to tell you that they work. I'm just red pilling your audience. No, I don't know. But yeah, that just seemed to work. I think that happens a lot with immigrant parents.
Definitely.
They do fall into that. They're not like, you need to do more you need to raise this baby. They're pretty as traditional as it comes, you know? Yeah, it worked out. And then like all the love I got from my mom. My dad was more of the, you should do this, read this many books, you need to get good grades. He was more of the backbone, and my mom was just all the affection. It worked out. It worked out for them.
It did?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I came out okay, right? I'm well adjusted.
You are well adjusted. As long as I've known you, I'm like, oh, he has his shit together.
That's interesting. Okay, so from the outside,
Mm-hmm.
'cause all I know is me.
Yeah.
What are the two options? What's on the other side of that, and then what is observably me?
Observably you, because I think I met you pretty early on, and I was like, okay, he's very funny. You were always like working on new stuff. I've never met somebody that doesn't like you. I feel like everybody likes you.
I do
And
have
all green flags.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I don't know what's on the flip side of that. Or like, as an example, there's definitely people where you just like hear about drama that they're involved in all the time, or they're inconsistent with work stuff. And I do think that work ethic speaks to me a lot about someone's character too, because it's like having an internal versus external locus of control. I think when people have an internal locus of control, which you have, which is, I think, really common with children of immigrants, where you just like take it upon yourself to be accountable for getting things done, showing up places on time, doing your best, what you were talking about as far as being thoughtful with, you're considering the audience's experience, which some people don't, which is crazy to say.
That'd be an obvious thing.
You would, and yet it's not.
That's what those faces are in that room. Huh. It's mostly a float tank when I get up there, and
yeah,
I guess they are watching me.
But the consideration too, even though I think, like for me, it's a selfish endeavor where me making people laugh is validation for me. I'm not just doing it out of this kind of philanthropic, oh, I just want people to laugh. I just want, someday I'll die and people will go, she made people laugh. And it's like, not for them, for me still, even though I'm considering I also need to make them laugh because I need to make sure that they're having a good night because they spent money and spent time, whatever. But there's just a mess. Like you can come into this world, and even though, as you were saying, there's people who in the comedy space have to be together now to make it, because you have to be an entrepreneur, a content creator, producer, et cetera, et cetera. There are still chaotic people within that where you look at them and you're like, whatever they're doing, I'm going to make sure I don't do that.
Right. They're always wrapped up in some drama with this camp, then this, then that. Like you shouldn't be making this much noise 2 years into comedy, like in the worst way.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be noise like that. Yeah, I guess it's interesting. I think also the engineering background was helpful in terms of just being a self-starter, knowing how to plan your day. Those skills, those like cubicle job type skills, I think are very helpful in the arts.
Yeah, they are.
Because no one is your taskmaster in the arts. You're your own business. It's entrepreneurial. So you have to be able to like set goals and, okay, I need to do this. And then this day I got to meet with this person. Sometimes there's rare cases where you just have like a great artist, but they're a space cadet. So you have a manager who has to like get him to the Greek.
Yeah.
You know?
Those are few and far between these days, just because of the amount of availability of people who won't act like that, who can still be talented.
Right. This goes back to tits heroin.
Yeah.
My tits heroin theory.
Well, Fahim Anwar, thank you so much for doing the show today. Please plug whatever you want to plug.
Oh, man. I'm off tour. I don't have a ton of stuff to plug. I guess just my socials. So Instagram. I know you hate Instagram.
No, I love it.
Instagram.com/Fahim Anwar, FAHIMANWAR. TikTok, Fahim Anwar Comedy. Fahim Anwar Was Taken. And then my YouTube. I post stuff on there all the time. So like working on sets. And I have some specials on there too. So just youtube.com/Fahim Anwar. And then me and Monty are doing a duo act. So come check us out on the road.
I'll bump you up on the list of people that. Yeah.
Yeah, really?
The Monty list.
It's huge. Monty, any parting words?
Well, thanks again for doing the show.
You got it. Thanks for having me.
Of course. And thank you, everybody, for listening. Bye.